We're live.
Hopefully, the internet connection
Won't kick us out.
is stable now. My goodness. We've been trying to get on with you guys for the last half an hour. I don't know what happened with our internet, but it did not want to function. So hopefully it's better now. Let us know if there's any weirdness, but we should be good to go. We rebooted it like 3 times, restarted my computer multiple times, like restarted my phone. We did it all. We did everything.
Sharon says, show Anna's unicorn love.
But I think we're good to go now. So hello, everyone.
Hello.
Howdy.
We are Anna wants to read you guys some more of the book that she started, if that's okay with you.
It's okay with everybody. Everybody's okay with it. They'll always be okay with it.
If you missed it, she did a couple of live streams over the last couple of months where she read a couple chapters at a time. And so let me show them the book you're reading.
Yeah, it's called The Spectrum Girls Survival Guide, How to Grow Up Awesome and Autistic. Let me hide my face.
Spectrum Girls Survival Guide. This is what she's reading. And you can, if you're interested in this book or other books related to autism, we have some of the ones that we like in our Amazon store, which the girls can link in the chat for you. There's a list called Best Books Ever or something like that.
The best books.
The best books. And you'll find some of our favorite books about autism in that list. And so Anna is going to continue reading out of her book for those who are interested in learning more about autism and girls on the spectrum. And Erin is working on what, babe?
On paper craft. On
Cardboard.
Cardboard stuff.
You should really call it cardboard craft because you're carving out of cardboard.
I'm sawing.
So Erin's going to be making noise. Hopefully, if it becomes too disruptive and you can't hear Anna reading, let us know and he can find something else to do. But that's what he wanted to work on if he can. Just be honest with us. Don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what, Erin, it's too noisy.
Can I just do it real? Can I just saw this one thing? And
go, quick, go. Ready, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
He's sawing off a Chewy box thing.
And while Erin's doing that, I'm going to crochet a miniature T-Rex. I know that doesn't look like a T-Rex, but it is a miniaturized version of the T-Rex.
And what's it called?
A wee Rex. But I have been crocheting in my family time when we're watching shows and stuff. And so I've made this bunny right here with a carrot hat and this little bunny right here and this little bunny right here and this little chickie right here. I don't know where to put it. And this little wee basket with a wee little carrot in it. And this little rainbow birthday cake. So I'm going to keep, I've been liking the crocheting. I've been enjoying it.
And now she's going to crochet a little wee Rex.
I just learned how to crochet for Erin's birthday so I could make him that tiger. And now I'm all about it. So anyway, what is on my neck, Kathleen? It's a
light.
It's a light. Hold on. My hair's in the way. I can't do it. There we go. See? So this is cool. This is I can add this to the Amazon store too. It's cool because when we're up late after Anna goes to bed and I'm crocheting and we're watching a show, Erin and I, if I put this light on, it points down at the work in front of me, but it's not enough light to disturb him watching TV. So I like it. Let's see. Amanda says, did you finish the unicorn? No, because I'm going to do that on the live, but I'm probably going to work on the unicorn next time I do a Zen live, which will probably be Monday night. Or maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. Either tomorrow night or Monday night. Depends on how I feel. Pete says the ads are different lengths. I had a pair of 15-second ones. That is true. If your ads are ever shorter than 30 seconds, then you just need to let them play all the way through. But if they're longer than 30 seconds, you just let them play for 30 seconds. Lauren says, love the light. Link it, please. Yeah, let me go add it while Anna gets started. If anybody wants to share the link to the Amazon affiliate page, I will go put the light in there while we get going.
Okay.
Ms. Banana.
Ms. Banana.
I'm going to add the light to the A3 Zen Zone list since it's a crafting kind of thing.
One more thing
One more thing? What's that?
that I'm sawing.
Oh.
And then I'm done, I promise.
Then you're done sewing
For now.
for now. Dun, dun, dun. Are you all right, my dear?
Snorting.
Got like reverse sneezes. All right, Anna, you ready to? Or you do you have your page?
Yep.
Oh, you're only on chapter 4. Wow, we got a ways to go. All right,
This horse was sitting in my book.
go for it, chica.
Chapter 4. The importance of being yourself. We're often told that it is important to be yourself. Social media is overflowing with inspirational quotes about embracing who you are and being true to yourself. However, this is much easier said than done. It's hard to be yourself in a world that's determined to turn you into everyone else. Being true to yourself means not worrying about pleasing other people and not living by other people's standards and expectations. So you're saying I should not listen to Daddy about being a better friend and just be myself?
I don't think that's what they mean.
Well, yet society teaches us that conformity is the easiest path to follow. We're under constant pressure to be like everyone else. The truth is that people who are different are often treated harshly. And now we're going to learn about masking to fit in. Masking to fit in. Most people want to be accepted. Autistic girls are no exception. Some people fit in effortlessly, whereas others find it more difficult. Unfortunately, autistic girls are at a disadvantage because we don't understand our social cues, and our classmates often perceive our autistic behavior and intense interests as strange. That is pretty much exactly me. I do not necessarily recognize social cues unless people tell me.
Mm-hmm. And you do have some intense interests that some people don't understand, right?
That's
like
strange.
your interest in magic, your interest in fantasy
In
and
Hypatia.
unicorns, your creative worlds that you came up with, your imaginary friends. It's all part of your fantastic imagination.
Yep. Many of us realize that the best way to be accepted and to avoid being judged and rejected by others is to act like everyone else, to alter our behavior and edit our personality so others will like us. This requires most autistic girls to mask. Masking is when we try to hide being autistic so that others will accept us. We suppress our autism so that we can try to behave in a way that neurotypicals will like or think is normal and socially acceptable. Sometimes autistic people also use the term passing or camouflaging. Whichever term we use, many of us feel compelled to conceal our social difficulties and sensory sensitivities so that we aren't punished or made to suffer because we're being autistic. Some examples of masking behaviors include observing and copying other people's behavior, forcing ourselves to make eye contact, forcing ourselves to vary our facial expressions, using body language that matches the body language of the person we're interacting with, preparing and memorizing a script for possible routes a social conversation could take, forcing ourselves to hide our sensory sensitivities, such as our sensitivity to sound, light, and touch. I know it's kind of weird to say this, but for me, I know probably some other autistic girls and boys, they might find it probably easy to mask along with like forcing that like to hide sensitivity stuff. But for me, I can't really do that. For me, it's just I can't. It's just I'm not able to.
You're not able to mask?
Well, no, I'm able to mask, but it's just I'm not able to like hide my sensory issues things.
Like what? Give us an example.
Like hand dryers. Like
Mhm.
I can. I kind of can by just not saying anything, even though it still bothers me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one way, but it's still very hard for me to do because I'm like I just need to say something. I don't like this,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why it's kind of hard.
Well, I think that it's not like the difficulty. It's not like an inability. It's not like you're incapable of hiding it. I think it's just that you have been raised. I have raised you in a way where I have made it explicitly clear that you should be fully comfortable at all times in expressing yourself and having a voice and having, a stake in the game when it comes to your life. And I think that a lot of children are not raised that way. A lot of children are taught to be seen and not heard, or that their voices don't matter because they're just kids. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I know when we were growing up, that was a lot of the, kind of way that kids were raised. So I think that part of it is not that you are incapable of not sharing how you feel about something. I think it's just that you've been raised to be comfortable sharing.
I think also kids that are in situations daily with other kids, they might start falling into doing those masking things to not call attention to themselves. But with Anna, she's not, in a school environment, so she wouldn't have to wouldn't feel a need to do that. She can just be herself here,
That's true.
Yeah.
You live in an environment where it's very comfortable to be who you are, and you know that you're loved and accepted no matter what. Where as kids in like a traditional public school setting, they have a large group of peers, many of whom they're not actually that affiliated with, and they can be very critical and very judgmental and
They can bully you.
right. And it makes you feel like scared to be who you are.
But as me, I would even if I was in public school and people bullied me, I'd stand up for myself and I'd say, "No, you stop that."
Sure
Right, but
would.
that's because of the way I've raised you. That's because of the environment you've grown up in. That's because you've been, raised to feel like that's okay. So it's not the same for all kids, right?
Yeah.
But you're kind of I think you're kind of lucky in that regard that you have that level of acceptance.
Yeah.
And love no matter what. And that has made you confident, and you feel confident in expressing your feelings. And I think that's wonderful. Do you think it's wonderful?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. You can keep on.
Okay, let's see. We were still looking at examples of masking behaviors. Refrain from stemming and from discussing our intense interests. I can definitely not do that. I must talk about like unicorns and rainbows and magic all the time. No matter if people are like, "So what'd you do today?" "Oh, I thought all about Hypatia and there's unicorns here and this and that and this." And it's just like all kinds of stuff.
Because you're excited about it, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about just thinking about all kinds of amazing unicorns and magic.
Mm-hmm. Anna, stop trying to read comments.
I'm not.
You are.
Assuming the identity and interests of someone we think neurotypicals will like. Nearly everyone makes small concessions to fit in better or to act in accordance with social rules and expectations.
What?
You didn't hear anything I just said?
I hear you, but your voice is even I'm sitting next to you and you're very quiet.
Okay.
I have hearing issues.
You do, but that's a different sort.
I'm actually speaking loud. If anything.
Speak up. What'd you say?
Okay, so I said, nearly everyone makes small concessions to fit in better or to act in accordance with social rules and expectations. But the difference is that autistic masking requires constant and elaborate effort. I need a drink.
That's true. There are social norms and expectations of behavior, right? You
Yep.
can't go out into a public place and just start screaming and disrupting everyone, swearing. You can't, just be rude to people all the time. There are definitely certain social norms and expectations of behavior. But yeah, it can be taken to a whole other level where, people who have issues with social cues are expected to water down their behavior and their what do you call it, like when you feel like the need to do something,
Compelled. Or
their compulsions, just to fit in to a certain dynamic, and that's where it becomes emotionally draining for people who are masking. Like, I think one example would be going back to the conversation we always have about small talk. People say, "Oh, but it's normal and customary to have small talk and to do these little courtesies at the beginning of a conversation with other people." I find that very exhausting. I find it very unnecessary and very exhausting. I just want to get to what we're talking about. Like, let's just get into it. Let's talk. Why are we talking about nothing? Let's talk. But that's
So essentially, we're opposites.
but it also can come across as very abrasive to people who are neurotypical.
right. But that's the issue, is
Yeah.
that everything is revolves around people who are neurotypical, and everything revolves around people who don't have disabilities, and everything revolves around what people consider normal, and everyone else is outside of that box is expected to cram themselves into it.
Right.
Otherwise they're not accepted, and that's where it becomes
An
BS.
issue. I my whole thing is just to be aware of it. If you can be aware of it, then you can, in certain situations, you could choose to do it, or you could say, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to do it how I want to do it. But at least you know, so you're not just confused as to why people respond in a certain way.
Yeah, that's true. You should be aware of why you might get some weird looks or some dirty looks, or some people saying like, "What's wrong with you?
Why is she so mean? Why is she so rude?"
Yeah, I get that a lot. People think that I'm incredibly rude sometimes
When
because
you're
I'm
actually
very
trying to help
abrupt
them.
and straightforward. Jennifer says someone asked what social cues are. Do you
Oh, yes. So social cues are just like, when you're talking about something to like a group of people, and then you see them just looking at their watch, walking away, looking at their phone, and kind of ignoring you. That's essentially what a social cue is. And it's just it's like if you, let's say you went to like some kind of meeting, and then you just kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And you were just so focused on what you were talking, you didn't notice what the people were doing. Essentially, the body language and what the people are doing is what social cues is.
So if you're neurotypical, these things are going on, and you probably don't even notice it yourself, but subconsciously you do, and you might make corrections. Whereas if you have like some type of autism, it would just go over your head, and you wouldn't even know that people were like getting bored
In one ear and out the other.
Yeah,
and you just keep talking about unicorns.
Yeah. Because it's totally cool, right? And who wouldn't want to talk
Or
about
trains,
unicorns?
like Uncle Austin used to do when he was little.
What was his favorite train? You said there was one that he like really
James,
liked.
the red one.
That's its like real name, or did he name it?
No, that's
On
the
the show,
train's.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the train's name.
I saw someone else said that they liked my leggings.
See, you are reading comments.
Dun dun dun.
Dun,
That
dun.
was
Busted.
rated for.
Okay, continue, ma'am.
Anyway. So let's see, where was I? But the difference is that autistic masking requires constant and elaborate effort. We're always trying to decipher social rules and norms that most of us find bewildering, especially since many are illogical and contradictory. One of the unspoken social rules I struggle with is society's expectation that we tell white lies. Although we're told it's wrong to lie, we quickly learn that there are instances when lying is not only permitted but expected. It's expected of you to lie?
I mean, you know, when you walk up to when you're meeting someone for the first time, like say you're going out with friends and some of those friends have other friends and you're getting together all the friends and you meet someone new and your friend says, "Hey Anna, I want you to meet Jane." And you say, "Oh, hey Jane." And you notice that Jane's got some crazy hair. Are you going to say, "Oh, hi, Jane. It's so nice to meet you. Your hair looks great." Or are you going to say, "Oh, hi, Jane. It's so nice to meet you. Your hair is crazy"? Which one's more appropriate? And is that a lie? Or is it
I'd
just
say the
being
second.
kind? You'd
I'd
say
say
the
the second.
You'd tell her? You'd tell her you think her hair's crazy?
Well, I would not like, oh. No, I wouldn't say that, but I would just say your hair kind of is popping out. You might have to move it, and then it's just in a more of a kind way of saying that, but just in like not exactly lying. It's like, "Oh, I love your hair," not lying,
Yeah.
but not
Got it.
fully
Got it.
telling
And
the
I do
truth
that
like
too.
that.
I am the same way. I don't lie. I don't like to lie. So I will find other creative ways of telling the truth, but still being kind. Because again, that's where the social norm comes in, right? Like it's not normal to meet someone for the first time and make them feel uncomfortable. You want them to, and that's where the masking comes in. But yeah, I get it. You know what Uncle Austin did one time when he was like 8? We went to Bob Evans to eat brunch on like a Saturday or a Sunday. And we walked in and he very loudly exclaimed, "It smells like old people in here."
Wow.
What? We were like, "Austin,
Oh boy.
what are you doing? This is not, you can't do that. It's not okay."
Like what? What?
Yeah. It's like, what? What? It does. What's the problem? Yep. That's what happens. Anyway. Moving on.
Anyway. Yeah, it says, for example, if someone asks you if you like their new haircut, it isn't socially acceptable to say that you hate it, even if you genuinely feel that way.
Case in point.
See?
I was just going to read that, and you were like, because this is what's happening.
That's funny.
That's a good example.
That's really funny.
Instead, you're expected to lie in order to spare someone's feelings. You're expected to say the opposite of what you think. But what if you think it's so nice? What if you think it's because it's braided and it has hair extensions in it?
Well,
what would you think if it was so nice? Would you just say, "I hate it"?
I think that your thoughts are correct, that there are ways that you can still be nice and not lie. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because lying is really, it's not okay.
Since social rules and norms do not come naturally to us, many of us figure out how we're supposed to act by observing and imitating those around us, and from watching TV shows and movies. Many autistic girls develop a repertoire of personas that they assume for different situations and audiences. We become performers. I watch different types of TV shows to study the behavior of a particular group of people, to learn their body language, facial expressions, gestures, mannerisms, figures of speech, and phrases. I do know some figures of speech, but I don't know all of them.
Yeah, figures of speech are definitely difficult for you. That's okay.
Some of them are super weird, though.
Yeah. You're just a more literal thinker.
Yeah. Well, I'm not always. Sometimes when I'm literal about a figure of speech,
Mhm.
I actually do know what it means, but I'm just being funny.
Oh,
See what you
sometimes you're
would
just
say.
being the straight man.
Just to see what
You're
you
good
would
at that
say.
too. Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to adapt my personality and behavior to blend in. Although I felt different to the other girls in my school, I didn't want to appear too different. I tried my best to fit in. I prepared and memorized scripts for social conversations. I studied the girls I wanted to be friends with. I pretended to be interested in whatever interested them. Since they were avid fans of One Direction,
Avid fans. Means
Avid
they were
fans of
big,
One Direction?
big fans. Listen to them all the time. Like an avid reader who reads all. You're an avid reader. You read all the time.
Not all the time.
A lot of the
A
time.
lot of the time.
80% of the time
The vast
I read.
majority
That's a
of the
lot of time.
time.
80% of the time I read, 20% of the time I play in my playroom with toys.
Yeah.
What does it say? Feigned an interest?
Pretend.
I feigned an interest in the band, even though I didn't like their music. I resolved to keep my intense interests into myself, in case I bored the other girls. I bent over backwards to be easygoing and agreeable. I know that's figure of speech. Where was I? Determined never to upset or disappoint them. I developed a few friendships, but they were never true friendships. I was playing a part. I was always aware that the friendships were not genuine because I never allowed my friends to meet the real me. I have learned that it is impossible to build an authentic and meaningful friendship on a foundation of deception and apprentice.
Yeah, nobody wants to be friends with someone who's fake.
Yeah.
So why would you expect people around you to behave in a fake manner
Especially if they're your
just to fit in
friends.
with you? If you
Yeah.
want to be friends
Like,
with
if
someone,
you
you
like-
want them to be who they really are.
Like, let's say, just like in her case, these other girls liked this kind of band and she didn't. She could say, like, well, I'm not a fan of this band, but I'm glad you like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have made them happy, but also being herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, social exhaustion. Not a new chapter, just a different section of this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a few pages left to this chapter? Anyway, social exhaustion. Pretending to be someone that you're not is exhausting and stressful. We often live in fear of unknowingly saying or doing the wrong thing. We also live in fear of being exposed as imposters. Whenever I have a social conversation with someone, I am simultaneously having an inner dialogue in my head. Am I talking too much? Should I vary my facial expression? Am I using appropriate body language? Should I speak now? Did I say the wrong thing? What do I say next? I'm in a constant state of panic and alertness, afraid of misinterpreting or missing a social cue. That is definitely not me. I don't necessarily want to look out for social cues because I'm just so interested in what I'm talking about. I'm like, "Whoa, this is amazing! I'm just gonna keep going on and on and on and on and on and
Yeah,
on and
but-
thinking about whatever."
But. Listen, Linda.
My name is not Linda. Okay?
That's where it becomes valuable. The fact that you've been evaluated and diagnosed on the autistic spectrum. That's where it becomes valuable that you have a difference in the way you do things. And you also know by learning about social cues and group etiquette that there are going to be times where, despite the fact that you're very much enjoying sharing everything, that you need to give other people a turn, right? And that you need to take into account other people's interests or what the topic of conversation is. Because if you're in science class and your teacher is talking about elements and molecules and chemistry, and you just want to talk about unicorns, there's a problem, right?
Yeah.
I can give an actual example that happened. Like I heard one time when you were in your homeroom class and people were telling what happened, what they did on the weekend or something, but you kept talking and talking. And I heard the teacher say, okay, well, that's great. Okay, we got to move on so that everybody else can have a time to say something.
And sometimes you go long, and especially in the homeroom, I think is a good example, like Daddy says, because you know that the teacher only has 25 minutes to get to everyone, right?
Mhm.
Everyone in there. And you want everyone to have a fair amount of time to talk, right?
Yeah.
So even though you have a lot of really exciting things to share, and even though it's all very interesting, you have to know that
Summarize.
your part in being a good classmate to the other students is to shorten what you have to say, to
Or break it up into multiple classes.
Or give a summary.
to leave time for other people, right? That's
Mhm.
the kind thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's being aware of okay, I know I have a tendency to go long because I get really caught up in what I'm talking about and I'm really excited about it. But I also know that it's inappropriate to do that.
Oh yeah, because I think there might be one kid in her class that might also be on the spectrum, and he always talks about Minecraft, Minecraft, and he just keeps going on, you know. And you even know that you kind of get irritated with that.
Yeah,
so.
sometimes.
Thank you, Denise, for the super sticker.
Thank
you, Lee, for the super
Thanks.
sticker. Thank you, guys.
Sometimes he doesn't talk about Minecraft. Like sometimes he has some Lego stuff to share, or like news about what he's eating. That's still cool, right?
Yeah.
But he usually talks about Minecraft,
Mhm.
and sometimes he interrupts. But I'm still fine with that because the teacher sometimes lets him know, like, just hold on, we'll get to you in just 1 second. Let Anna finish talking.
Cool. Yeah, she does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Okay. Walking this emotional tightrope can lead to social exhaustion. It takes a lot of energy to play a role in order to get through the school day. Many autistic girls cope with social exhaustion by behaving very differently at home and at school. At school, we use all our energy to suppress our autistic traits. We're often seen as well-behaved model students. However, it's exhausting trying to impress your teachers, interact with your classmates, stifle the pain and discomfort from your sensory sensitivities, and manage your anxiety, all while trying to fit in and do well in your classes.
Yes, it can be very tiring. Yes.
Are you ever going to turn on your little light things?
I don't really need them right at the moment, and it's bright. It's bright on them on screen, so.
I'm just wondering. Anyway, by the time we get home, we're overwhelmed by all the tension and distress that we've been bottling up all day. It may be that by the time you get home, you're frazzled. You may feel as if you're ready to explode. You may have a meltdown, start an argument, or be what is that?
Bellicose.
No.
What does it say?
Belligerent or something?
Belligerent.
Belligerent.
What is that?
It's like not able. It's like
Not able to hold it back.
like I can't tame you. Like you're just being nonsensical and sassy and disagreeable and grouchy and rude, and I can't get you to calm down. Completely belligerent. Mm-hmm. That I don't think that's ever happened. Usually we're able to get you to okay, reel it in. Let's focus. Let's get back to life.
Yeah.
Back to life. Okay, keep going. Keep reading.
It's like, hey, I'm sorry, but you did some little lyrics, and we're just gonna flag you, and we're not gonna give you all this stuff that you need. Or general act out. Your parents might find this very confusing. They may be baffled by how differently you behave in school and at home. It's as if you're two different people, which in some ways you are. At school, you're concealing your autism, whereas at home, it's safe to be yourself. You know that your parents will still love you. It's not that you're deliberately being difficult or trying to get attention. You've been holding in all your anxiety and emotions that have been building up at school all day, waiting to release them in an environment where you feel safe. If you find out that you're lashing out when you get home, I suggest that you tell your family how you're feeling. Consider asking them to read this chapter. Tell them that after a long day at school, you need time to yourself to recover and recharge. That you find when you get home from school, you do something that you find relaxing and that will help you to unwind. Take a bath or a nap. Go for a walk. Listen to music. Read a book. Bake a cake. Daddy needs to do that with us.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Karen, for the super sticker. Thank you, Martha. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whatever the activity may be, do something soothing and calming that works for you. My family knows that as soon as I get home from a long day at school, I need an hour to myself to decompress and recover.
Martha says, I really enjoy her reading to us.
I go to my room and listen to music, play with my dog, read, or watch some TV. I need this time to myself. It's very likely that you need some time to yourself, too. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes that's just what you gotta do.
Yeah, sometimes you really, we were, Daddy and I were talking about this the other day. Sometimes you really do love to just tuck away into your bedroom and do your thing.
Go off into my world.
Be left alone to
stars and little
Yeah.
eyeballs and pinpricks of light and
And that makes me really
Light
happy
training.
because that means that that means that you like your bedroom environment, that it's a good, comfortable space for you.
yeah. Do you know what I would like even more?
What?
If I was able to close my door
Well,
and just have some time to myself, so you know that
you can close the door. It's just that it doesn't shut all the way because of the shoe rack.
No, it does.
It does?
Yeah, it does. It's just sometimes I can't get it back open.
Oh.
I'm trapped.
I'm stuck in my room. Well, you have the speaker system. You can always call for help.
Right.
Yeah, I have Google. I can just broadcast to you and be like, Mommy, I need your
To me, the only thing that makes me nervous about you shutting your door is if you fall or something happens and we don't hear it because your door's shut, or like if Jameli's not in there with you and she can't get to you. That's the primary issue I would have. But
I wonder why Jameli cries after just 5 minutes of being in my room.
I think she wants to be able to move around. I think she'll come in there if you call her, but she likes to be able to check on everyone. So when she's like stuck in one place for too long, she gets whiny. We're never going to make it through the chapter if we keep stopping every 2 seconds. We gotta make some progress, girl.
Anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Loss of identity. When I was younger, there were times when I was unable to distinguish between the real me and the many characters and roles I played. I often became whoever I spent the most time around, to the point that I even picked up their accent and mannerisms.
Mm.
I often became a carbon copy of the people around me. A major drawback of pretending to be someone else and playing so many different roles is that it's easy to lose sight of our true identity. We're like chameleons who change their color to match their environment. We become experts at disappearing into the background. Eventually, we get muddled and confused about who we are. Pretending to be someone else is damaging to our self-esteem and sense of self-worth. Many of us are forced to mask because we believe that we won't be accepted and embraced for who we are. This implies that there is something wrong with us, that we're somehow damaged and unworthy. It also implies that we don't feel safe to be to ourselves. We wouldn't feel this way if society made much more effort to understand and accept people who are autistic. It's sad that society still has a long way to go before it accepts people who are different. I take comfort in knowing that we're not the first marginalized group to feel pressured to hide their true identity for fear of what?
Recrimination
Or judgment. What is that?
Well, you know what judgment is.
Yeah, recrimination.
It's just like being held responsible for something that is beyond your control, like for the way you are or who you are, like being, persecuted for it, being treated poorly because of it. Kim says, Anna, would you be comfortable with your door closed partway so Jameli can still get in and out?
Yeah.
You can always do that.
Just as long as these guys know, just leave me alone until I come out or open my door.
I want to be alone.
Erica says, we can't see your crocheting. I know, I can't. We can't get everything on screen at the same time, unfortunately. So
if only you could add a new StreamYard thing and guest link yourself into there, and then you could just.
I'll show you guys from time to time where. Let me finish this last stitch here, and then I'll show you where I'm at. I had to restart a few times. I was having trouble getting my magic loop going. It always takes me a few tries, and then
magic loop.
And then I had to.
What's a magic loop?
And then I had to restart my stitches because I kept losing count because I was talking to Anna. But I just finished round 2, and this is what it looks like so far.
Face then.
Looks like a little snail.
Oh, it's coming together to be a wee Rex.
Let's see.
I need a drink.
Pete says, what's flashing in the corner? Oh, it's just the shadow of the fan. Here, let's turn on the overhead light. It's just the shadow of the ceiling fan.
I'm gonna get a drink real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, get a drink. Debbie wants to know, what is Aaron making?
A surprise.
He if you go back and watch the live stream from the other night, we share more about it. It's a surprise for Anna. He's working on a cardboard creation. Bev says, Margaret, it's not working. I just want to make sure it's working on there. What is not working? What's not working? Yeah, no, I can't see what you're working on. I know.
Patience.
I need to stretch my leg out the other way because it's falling asleep.
Let me get back over here first. So you know where you have room to put your leg.
Karen, I just started to learn crochet and the magic loop is defeating me. It takes a lot of practice, but usually by the time I do it the third time, it looks pretty good. I always get confused on the initial making the loop because for whatever reason, it doesn't always create a loop. I just forget a little flick of the wrist or something. And then once I get the loop created, then sometimes I have to give it a couple goes just to get the side really nice, like this. Like that is, just other, because sometimes it comes out pretty messy. But I think I'm getting better all the time. So.
Well, you're always getting better because you practice.
Bev says the Amazon store link tree. It's not working? What do you mean? The Amazon store link tree. This is the, oh, there, Jennifer's got it right there. There's the link.
Just copy and paste it.
Yeah, well, you should be able to just click on it. If you just click on the link that Jennifer just shared, that'll take you to where you can get to the Amazon store. All right. My leg. Okay. Ready?
Yep. 3, 2,
Okay.
1, 3, 2, 1.
Let's-
Let's go, girl.
Let's keep going.
Mm. Let's see where I was. Okay. It wasn't long ago that the LGBTQ community was in our shoes. Look at how far they have come. When masking backfires. Do you know about this?
When masking backfires?
Yeah.
I don't know. Read it to me and I can tell you.
Although we mask in order to fit in, sometimes it can backfire and have the opposite effect. Social interaction is complicated. It doesn't always lend itself to imitation. For example, when I was much younger, a boy in my class made a joke and everybody laughed. I desperately wanted to make my classmates laugh too. I memorized the joke and repeated it to the same classmates on more than one occasion, hoping to get the same response. I didn't. Instead of laughing, my classmates were irritated and annoyed. At the time, I found this confusing. I now know that there were delicate, unspoken social nuances and rules in play that I was unaware of. At the time, I didn't know that most jokes are only funny the first time you hear them, and that it's fine to repeat a joke as long as you tell it to a different group of people. The older you get and the more you study social interaction, the better you will become at identifying and following unspoken social nuances and rules.
Mm-hmm. Chris says, how long does it take Anna to read one book? Totally depends on the length of the book.
Well, not just that, but if I'm reading it in my head or out loud.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm reading it out loud and it's in one sitting and out loud, it'd probably take me about 2 hours.
She's very fast. She's a faster reader than I am.
Well, reading by yourself, she plows through. She can go.
Yeah.
She could read like 3 books in one day.
Yeah, she's a completely.
Yeah, I
voracious
could probably read my whole Skyward book and the next half of my Starsight book, along with 3 Fairy Unicorns books, all in like 5 hours.
reader. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm good at reading. I'm fast.
And she comprehends it all. And she remembers most of it. Like she can give you
Like I can remember every little detail of my Fairy Unicorns Frost Fair book about them landing on the snow and finding a house up on top of a mountain.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have ever watched the videos where she tells you about what she's reading, she can give a very good account of what she's read.
Yep. Okay, so what was that?
Denise says, Nana, what are you crocheting? I'm crocheting a wee Rex. Little baby T-Rex.
Wee Rex.
He's little, like my little rainbow bunny. Little rainbow
Hey,
bunny.
Daddy.
Babe, divert thy eyes. See my little bunny and my little chickie. He's gonna be little, like those guys.
Like about that size.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have a bunny family? You should get more little chickies, and you can make a whole chick
I
family.
can make as many chickies as I want. I should make a little white chick. I've got a lot of white yarn left from the big bunny.
From the big bunny?
Yep.
Could you make a rainbow chickie? With the rainbow yarn? That'd be cool.
That's what I was gonna do, and then I decided to make the rainbow birthday cake instead.
Oh, you should make a rainbow chickie.
It's
too.
okay. I can get a rainbow chickie kit and get some more rainbow yarn. All right, Anna, let's it's like 10:50. Let's move along.
Okay. An unintended consequence of masking is that, if taken to an extreme, copying other people can come across as creepy. Most teen girls observe and follow trends in clothing, makeup, and hairstyles, and copy them. This is true of autistic girls, too. The difference is that some of us may be more literal in the way that we copy trends and behaviors. That's with me with figures of speech. I'm always super literal about it. We may latch on the most popular girl in our class and meticulously, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Meticulously copy the way she acts, looks, and dresses in the hope that doing so will help us to fit in.
Do you know what meticulously means?
No.
Can you figure out what it means based on the context of the sentence? Read the sentence aloud again.
No, I think I might know.
Okay.
Like exactly copy or something.
It's like to work really hard to get every detail right.
Every
Essentially.
little detail.
Every little intricate detail.
Mm-hmm.
Vocabulary. Yes, that was a vocabulary word. Anyway. It may be that the girl wears her hair in an elaborate braid and has a wheel-shaped pencil case and a purple backpack. So you start wearing your hair the same way and buy an identical pencil case and backpack. It's likely that your attempt to imitate the girl in hope of replicating her popularity will have the opposite effect. She may get upset with you for stealing her unique look, and your classmates may think you have an unhealthy obsession with her. The trick is to strike the right balance between blending in and maintaining your own identity. If you show up to school looking like a clone of a classmate, you've taken things a bit too far.
Yeah.
At school, autistic girls are often made to feel bad about themselves. Our classmates often focus on our differences, rather than our many positive qualities. Autistic girls have some amazing qualities and make great friends. We're fiercely loyal and straightforward. That's you. You're always straightforward. Not much you do.
And I'm very loyal.
Yeah. We're honest. We've got a great sense of humor. That's definitely you.
Thank you.
We stand up for others. That's me. We're reliable and accepting. We're forgiving. We're interesting and conscientious. We're kind. No matter what your classmates tell you and no matter how they treat you, never be ashamed of being autistic. One of the reasons that I'm writing this book is that I hope it will help you see how amazing you are. I hope that you'll hold your head high and be proud to be autistic.
Thank you, Julie, for the super sticker.
Thanks.
Okay. Masking and mental health. Masking is mentally, physically, and emotionally draining. It takes a lot of effort, self-control, and concentration. A combination of the effort it takes to mask and the sense of loss and of identity can eventually affect your mental health and lead to severe anxiety and depression. Autistic people call this social burnout.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling overwhelmed and are having a difficult time coping, it's important that you tell your parents, a teacher, or someone you trust so that they can help you and get the support you need. Suffering in silence only makes things worse. Social burnout is very common in people who are autistic, so you're definitely not alone. As soon as you tell someone how you're feeling, you feel a sense of relief. I know that it can feel scary to ask for help. The first step is always the hardest, but I know you can do it. Remember that your family love you and want the best of you. I believe in you and want the best of you too.
There's another chapter, right?
No,
No.
I've still got 1, 2,
Okay. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
3, 4, it looks like. And
Yep.
then I'll move on to the next chapter.
We're good
Yes.
for about another 15 minutes, and then we'll have to stop and say goodnight to
No
everybody.
matter where I am.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a little comic here. Okay. Has this little guy.
It might be hard to read the comics, especially where they can't see it. So maybe just skip that part and read the text.
What?
Just go on.
Skip the comic and read the text.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it says, being yourself. Masking is our way of trying to survive in a neurotypical world. Somewhere along the way, we learned that being autistic is not socially acceptable. We're often criticized, judged, rejected, and bullied. We learned that the best way to avoid negative attention and to feel safe is to pretend to be like everyone else. However, we're not like everyone else. Since our disability is invisible and we suffer in silence, most people do not understand the obstacles we face on a daily and hourly basis. Do you have something to say?
No.
To me, stepping out into the world is a Herculean task that takes courage and resolve. I have to defeat a sensory overload of noise, lights, smells, and touch, and I have to battle against my social anxiety, an anxiety that comes from being afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing. Do you ever have that kind of anxiety?
Social anxiety
Yeah.
from saying or doing the wrong thing?
No, like afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing.
I used to. I used to when I was younger. I think now I have grown confident enough in myself that I just don't a lot of the time now, because I know that I am who I am and I know what I know, and I'm not really here to impress anyone. I don't really care about impressing people as much as I used to when I was younger. Do you ever feel that way?
Not really.
That's good. It's good to have confidence in yourself and who you are, the way you are. There are times when I definitely feel pressure to watch my tendencies and behaviors, not because I'm worried about necessarily what someone will think of me, but because I'm worried because I don't want to
Burst out.
no, I don't want to like hurt someone, or I don't want to make someone feel awkward. And I know that I have a tendency to do that with certain behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe, the focus needs to be on that person that I'm talking to, because they're telling me something that they have going on, or they're dealing with their own thing. And I want to be supportive of them, and I want to focus on them. And so I need to curb my idiosyncrasies in order to make it most comfortable and easy for them in that moment. And that takes some effort on my part, because my tendency, might be to, say something that could be considered inappropriate or blunt, or to, I have an issue with, I feel like when I'm talking to someone and they're telling me about an issue they're having, I feel like my way of connecting with them or having like a camaraderie with them is to say, oh yeah, I've been through that too, and explain how I've been through that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it helps them see that I can truly understand what they're going through, because I've experienced something similar. However, in some social situations, some people take that the wrong way, and they think that you're directing the focus onto yourself to get attention for yourself rather than paying attention to them. And that's never my intention, but it can be taken that way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one thing that I deal with a lot.
On an ordinary day, as I head out to school, my senses are assaulted as soon as I open my front door. The sounds of cars, motorcycles, and construction work reverberate with a deafening noise.
Reverberate?
Reverberate.
Reverberate?
What?
Reverberate?
Reverberate.
Reverb.
What in the hell is that? On the subway, people will push past me, their perfumes, shaving cream, scented lotions, floral deodorants, and morning coffee mixing into a sickly, overwhelming smell that makes me queasy.
Oh yes, that's me. I can't be around people with perfumes or colognes or strong deodorants. It literally makes me feel like I need to gag. It's so hard.
She says, I begin to feel to faint. As people inadvertently brush past me, the place I'm touched begins to throb. Before long, my whole body is throbbing. I try not to focus on the pulsating pain and noxious smells and the what?
Cacophony.
Cacophony of the noise and the flickering lights glaring at me. As I walk towards school, I try to shut out the world. I try to block what?
Enunciate, please.
Yes, please enunciate. That was a little slurred and it sounded like something it was not.
It says, as I walk towards school, I try to shut out the world.
There you
What
go.
in the world? Do you make a basket?
Eyes. Eyeballs.
Oh, sorry.
Babe.
Like what?
See, the second he looks away, it focuses. That's where I'm at. I got a little basket. It's the dino's head.
The head?
No, Debbie, I don't have allergies at all. I don't have any allergies. It's autism. I get very overwhelmed by smells. I have a really strong sense of smell, and I can get like disturbingly overwhelmed by
Sensory
smells.
overload.
Yeah, total sensory overload. Go ahead. Sorry.
It says, I try to block the shrieking sirens, the toxic fumes, and the smell of rotting trash that's patiently waiting on the sidewalk for collection. I struggle to carry my school bag as it gets heavier and heavier with each step. My vision begins to blur. I focus on walking without tripping. I listen to soothing music as a distraction. I take deep breaths. I think of cuddling my dog. Yet my heart is racing, my stomach is churning, and my anxiety levels are rising. It has only been half an hour since I ventured out. School has not even begun. I still have the whole day in front of me, yet I am already worn down, exhausted. At school, I'll have to engage in teen banter with my classmates. While conversation will be effortless for them, I'll struggle to decide which script to use. I'll force myself to make eye contact, to mirror appropriate body language, and to vary my facial expressions. I'll try to figure out when to speak, when to smile, when to vary the tone of my voice, and what to say next. I'll worry about whether my interaction appears forced, awkward, and unnatural. I'll panic about how to conclude the conversation. And all while my vision blurs, my heart races, and I begin to feel more and more lightheaded.
Oh, it's pretty intense.
Do you ever feel that intensely about your like when you get sensory overload? Does it take over everything like that for you sometimes?
No, because what I do is I have like, I don't remember what it was called, but it's like the little weight things that have like the two sides.
A scale?
Essentially, yeah, it's like a scale, but it has like the two, that thing, that whatever one.
Scale.
Scale.
Yeah, with the two sides. I essentially imagine that to help me when I have like sensory overload, like if there's a hand dryer going on, I'm like, why is this happening? All I do is I take that little scale in my brain and I put the hand dryer on one side of it, and then I put a giant heart on the other side.
Mm,
And do you know which side falls down?
the heart.
Yes.
That's good.
And that's how I remember I need to just stay positive.
That's good. If you have little tricks you can do to help alleviate that, it's great.
Mhm. And then after that, I imagine two like thought bubble kind of things, but without the two circles that lead into the person's head. It's just the big thought bubble. I imagine two thought bubbles, and one of them is green and says positive thoughts. One of them is gray and says negative thoughts. And I can adjust the size depending on how much the heart is hanging down and depending on what I put. So I just put the bads. I put like a little picture of the bad stuff on the left side and keep the heart on the right side. And then whichever side falls down more determines how much positive or negative thoughts I have.
Very cool.
I could go on and on about this amazingness.
That's just part of your autism. I just keep going on.
I mean, it's super cool. I have so many tips and tricks for being positive and happy.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's a great thing to share. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people could use those tips and tricks.
Yeah. Maybe you, I know. I thought, no, not you. Sorry. I thought of something amazing. Maybe I could teach a Zoom course by myself, and it would be about like tips and tricks on how to stay positive and be calm and nice.
I bet people would love that.
Would you guys?
You would have to spend some time, and when you have free time and you don't have schoolwork to do, you'd have to spend some time
Pre-recording
writing
video.
up an itinerary.
What?
An itinerary.
What's that?
It's a schedule of what you're going to go over during your meeting class time, and coming up with a plan, a outline of topics, maybe some resources and some handouts, and then absolutely you could run a class.
I'd have to use like a form fill out thing and send it and like make an actual form that's nice and neat without my little bit so sloppy handwriting.
Well, you use like
Google
Microsoft
Docs.
or not Microsoft. Yeah, Google Docs.
Anyway, the reality is that we live in a world that makes very little effort to understand and accept autistic people. No one should be expected to hide their difficulties to the degree that we're forced to.
That was my point. Keep going. Keep going.
Like, why are we whispering? Anyway, we shouldn't be expected to silently endure the discomfort and pain caused by our sensory sensitivities and to hide our difficulties with social interaction for fear of being judged and looked down upon. How do we find the right balance between protecting ourselves and being open about our challenges and being free to ourselves? Unfortunately, there is no easy answer. I believe that society should be more inclusive, supportive, and accepting of the people who are different, whether that difference is due to race, ethnicity, gender. No.
It's okay. I know what it is, and it's a perfectly fine word to say. There's nothing derogatory about it whatsoever.
Scientific.
You can say it.
The scientific use of it.
Scientific?
It's
very technical.
okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean what you're
Yeah.
thinking. It's not the same as the 3-letter word.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's different.
I'm not going to tell you to say something that's not okay.
I'm going to trick you.
Sexual orientation, religion, or disability. I think it reflects badly on a society when a group of people, such as the autistic community, feel compelled to hide their identity so that they're accepted and treated with dignity and respect. I believe that the best way to make the world more understanding of autistic people and more autism-friendly is by sharing our stories and our experiences. Most neurotypicals don't understand what it's like to be autistic and don't understand how challenging it is to live in a world that isn't designed for you. It is up to us to educate them. I've met so many amazing people, autistic and neurotypical, who are passionate about improving the lives of autistic people and who are determined to make things better for us and for future generations of autistic children and young people. I'm sharing my story and my experiences because I believe that one person can make a difference, and I believe that the autistic community has the power to change the way neurotypicals treat us. My hope is that one day autistic people will be understood, accepted, and embraced so that we can be free to ourselves, because we're never meant to fit in. We were never meant to stand out. And then that's chapter 5.
Nice.
Very
It's
cool.
just in time. We have about 5 minutes left.
All
If
right.
anyone has any questions related to Anna's book and reading, or any questions related to our family or our schedule or the weekend ahead. Tomorrow is Saturday Sub Live. So 3 p.m. tomorrow, we'll do our Sub Live that we do every week. And tomorrow is also Zoom night for our family level
Our Zoomers.
subscribers, for our Zoomers. Let's see.
What is that?
Can I try something out here?
Michael says, always impressed with Anna, especially when a word is new to her. It's like seeing that there's always more for her to learn and teach others.
What is that?
She's always been pretty good about asking, if they're like, what is that word? What does that mean?
It's how you grow your vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, let me show them this is what Aaron worked on while
That's
we
a
were
surprise?
face. This is Aaron's first go at the cardboard creativity with the new tools that he got. So what is that?
I wanted to just test out something, but here, let me.
Kate wants to know the title of the book and is it in the Amazon affiliate store. It is in the Amazon affiliate store. The title is The Spectrum Girls Survival Guide. How to Grow Up Awesome and Autistic. It's a really great book. We're really enjoying it. She's been reading through it. She's got a ways to go, so she'll read it quite a few more times with you guys. And we have a list on our Amazon affiliate page that's called The Best Books. And there are a few books about autism in there that I think are really great. And that is one of them. So absolutely, you can find it in our Amazon affiliate store. Is there a Zen Zone tonight? No, Chris, I'm not going to be doing Zen Zone tonight. And honestly, probably not tomorrow either, just because we do have Sub Live and Zoom session. So probably Monday night will be the next Zen Live.
I'm trying to like.
It's supposed to be.
Michael says any sketchy friendler time ahead. If I think Tuesday would be the first time that he would do sketchy time. So we'll see if that pans out. Elaine says, thank you, Anna, for reading your book. Is it supposed to go on her wrist?
Yeah, but I think I did it
too small.
Yeah.
What even is that?
She does have a very small wrist.
That's why I was doing it small, but I think I did.
But why is this one? Oh, because you didn't want it poking into her.
Yeah.
I see. What's with this extra piece?
Watch. Is what I wanted to do was let me pull it out.
I just wonder what the extra flap there was for.
That was like our little control panel thing.
Oh, I see.
So
you just need to make it a little bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let me see your wrist. Like this.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But how come it just doesn't fit over her hand? Is that the problem?
Yeah, because her hand is bigger than her wrist.
Mm. Yeah.
Kind of hurts.
The thing is, she doesn't have that issue where a lot of people have, where like you can't get like where a bracelet stays on your wrist because of this part of your thumb. You know, it kind of like prevents it from moving beyond your hand. That doesn't happen with Anna because if you look at it, it's all like the same width. She doesn't have that muscle, I guess, sticking out from her thumb. So it's interesting. Bracelets will fall. There's no standard size bracelet that fits her. It has to be like a newborn bracelet. And even then, I have a newborn bangle that I bought before she was born for her, and it still slips right off of her. So you have to adjust like friendship bracelets down to about that big in order to fit her. It's just part of her arthrogryposis.
That fits.
Are we doing anything fun this weekend? I mean, hanging out with our subs is a lot of fun for us. We enjoy that time and getting to know people better. We had a really fantastic sub live last night, Aaron and I, a late one, which we do every other Thursday for people in that friends level and up. As far as like outside of time, I don't know. We don't have, I think we're just relaxing this weekend. We don't have any real plans. I think we're Aaron and I are watching a couple of shows, and so we're gonna keep watching those and trying to get through at least one of them. And what do you have plans for this weekend?
Putting in some screws, like these.
Into the cardboard? You're gonna help Daddy?
Well, I wanted to, and he was like, sure, yeah.
Trimming Anna's nails is on the agenda because that needs to be done.
No. Anyway, so I thought of something cool, Daddy. I thought of a good plan to help you. So instead of doing that, I thought of something you could do.
Here, let me.
Could I try something real quick, and then you could do your?
Let's see. Tina says last night was very fun. Kim says Sunday is a day off for you guys. Yes. And that's the first time that we've done like strict days off in a couple of years. And I have to say it's been super healthy and wonderful for us.
To recharge.
I think we didn't realize, it didn't feel like, the last couple of years we weren't like, oh my gosh, I wish we had a day off. It was fine. Like we were used to it. But now that we have it, we're like, what were we doing? Like we need this time to just get up Sunday morning, not have to change out of our pajamas, not have to worry about brushing our hair, move from the bedroom to the couch, have a lazy brunch together, turn on the television and just veg out for a few hours and not think about putting together a video or editing a reel or going on a live. It has been.
It's definitely, it helps with morale. It just helps with energy. And
it's a game changer. Mm-hmm.
I have an idea.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Pete says Sunday is Palm Sunday, the beginning of a very busy week for the choir.
Oh, there you go.
Michael says, can someone be in their 80s and never know they were autistic? Absolutely. I think the vast majority of people in their 80s who are autistic never knew or would never know because these things weren't diagnosed back.
Like my grandma she just had to have everything a certain way. Probably maybe on the spectrum.
Yeah, it was called something different back then.
It was very quirky.
And then a lot of people, by then they're like, well, what's the point now? I'm 80, So they're not going to go pay the money to get evaluated because it's not covered by insurance. So as an adult, you have to pay out of pocket for it.
Hey, look, there's a screw right here.
Yep, thanks.
Cindy says, I'm so glad that you all are having family time. That means a lot. Thank you, Cindy. That comment means a lot because we've unfortunately had quite a few people, especially over on Facebook, who just they don't get it. Like they just complain about how things have changed and how it's not fair and how, they can't do this and they can't do that and they can't come over to YouTube and they can't, whatever. And they don't stop to think about
that we're
we have to do what's best for our family. I have to do what's best for Anna. And I really appreciate that you recognize that and you said that. Thank you so much. Martha says, having an R&R day is a great help for mental and physical well-being. Absolutely. Michael, you're wondering about your mom. Well, if she's open to it, Michael, sit down with her with the website where I took the quizzes and then you can get an idea without having to go through a full-on evaluation. Be like, Mom, I got a quiz for you. Ask her the questions and see if she'll answer them all.
There you go.
It was what was the website? Oh, there you go.
I thought of a cooler and better thing.
Well, this is Daddy's creation.
Yeah, but just to make it more comfortable on my arm.
Do you remember what the website was that we took I took the quizzes on in the beginning? I think it's Embracing Autism. Embrace Autism. Yeah. Yeah, Google that. Google Embracing Autism or Embrace Autism.
It's Embrace Autism.
It's a .com. You'll be able to find it. Sheila says, family time means a lot. Yes, it does. Yeah, Karen, that's the website I just mentioned. I think it's embraceautism.com. Yep, they have some free quizzes on there. They don't cost anything. It's just the very basic. What do you call it when you do the most basic of testing? The kind of testing that you would do initially to see if you even need to go talk to your doctor about anything.
Or be concerned about or more questions about.
What are you doing, child? What are you doing, child?
I'm trying to pick up that.
Oh,
he dropped.
All right.
Put more for.
We are going to go. Gotta get Anna to bed. It's almost 11:30. It's late.
I was gonna show him.
It's a good thing you get to sleep in tomorrow. Yeah, you can. But let's say goodnight to everybody now.
Yeah.
And then we can do that.
And
So yeah,
I-
Aaron got some way with his cardboard.
Yeah, why now I'm just
Got
learning how to
started.
work with it.
And I got through another chapter of the book. So we'll do that again. I got this far with my dino. I'm gonna go finish it. I'll share a picture of it over in the community space when I'm done for anyone who's interested to see what it looks like when it's all done. And yeah, we'll see some of you tomorrow for the sub live. If anyone's interested, it's not too late to join. You just come over to the community. If you can get a hold of Sharon, she can help you get signed up. If you're in our subgroup, you can see us live pretty much every day of the week except Sunday. So otherwise, we'll see the rest of you on Monday. They're not hollow, Pete. Just stuff them with stuffing. But I haven't got to that point yet. All right. The rest of you have a great weekend. And we'll see some of you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.